Good morning. It is a glorious day number 7. The sun is out and shining, charging up the solar panels, giving sunlight to the garden, and we are ready to water the garden for the last day. Still using my electric pump here and the rainwater that I collected off my roof during the last rain that we had. We didn't have a lot of rain, but it did fill up the bottom tote completely. I just checked the level on the top tote and we've got this much water in the top tote. So I don't think that's going to be enough to water the back garden and the front garden. So I'll have to do what I did in a previous video, rearrange the plumbing and make that all work. But it's a wonderful day. I'm glad that I'm coming to the end of this experience. I've learned a lot, and I hope you've learned some things along the way too. Your suggestions have been absolutely awesome. I'm keeping notes and making changes. Since today is Monday, I fertilize. I use the Mittleider weekly feed. So I do it once a week. I just wanted to show you how I do this. Oh, pressure's going up a little high. So I sprinkle the weekly feed down the watering pipe area, and then I water it in with my wand here. I water it enough so that it floats. That way it evenly distributes all the way down the row, and I make sure that my rows are level so that I don't waste the water on one end and float all the fertilizer down to the end. Having a level garden bed is very important. So I just sprinkle it down. It's granular. I mix 10 ounces of natural mineral fertilizer to 25 pounds of all-purpose fertilizer, which is 13, 13, 13, 16, 16, 16, something like that, and 4 pounds of Epsom salts. I also put in 10% lime to help kind of keep the calcium level consistent during the growing season, and it really helps with the Epsom salt not pulling the water out of everything and getting the fertilizer wet. So that's what I'm doing. This is Monday, and this is how I do it every Monday, and I get great results. There'll be a link below this video on the Mittleider gardening method, our Facebook page, and where you can get the Mittleider Magic Nutrient Pack. Very inexpensive. I can make 60 pounds of fertilizer for about $42, buying everything. If I was going to use Miracle Grow or something else, it cost me over $213 to do that. This is a huge financial savings, and it has every one of the 13 nutrients that the plant needs to get from the ground. I'm out front right now watering. There was plenty of water in the top tank for all of my garden. Easily done, and I'm going through the watering much faster, at least half the time in what it took the first day to do it. Things are becoming more routine. I have things already hooked up now. I'm realizing how much water I need to put on the plants, so it's going much faster. I'm done with the watering, and some people have asked, well, why are you watering a flower bed if you're in an off-grid SHTF situation? Well, the answer is, of course I wouldn't be watering the flower bed in an SHTF situation. However, I'm not in that situation. I'm just testing some of my preps. And I am married, and I want to keep my wife happy. There's a couple mottos I live by, and one of them is happy wife, happy life. That's worked very well for me for the past 30 plus years. So, yes, these plants would probably die, or we would eat them if we were in a real SHTF situation. But since we're not, we're going to keep them healthy and happy, and my wife happy too. I cannot reiterate how important it has been to have potable water during this whole experience, and how much work it is to have to carry water everywhere you need water, in the shower, in the bathroom, for doing dishes, which I haven't experienced yet, filling the Berkey, watering the plants. Water is so critical. I can't express how strongly I feel about that. So please, whatever you need to do, make sure that you have water put away, and more water than you think, for your family for an extended period of time. A lot of people like to store at least 2 weeks worth of water. I think that is a good recommendation, and certainly a minimum. I would estimate 3 gallons per person per day. And that's about what I'm hitting as I look through the 55-gallon drum and see how much I've used in this period of time. I've only bathed once. I don't know if that's too much information. Although I have sponge bathed also, so not using a full shower. Other thing I've done is I've used up every last spoon, bowl, and fork that we have in this house. And my sweet wife is coming home tomorrow, and she likes a clean kitchen. This is a very high priority for me today to get this taken care of. I'm taking care of these dishes as soon as I turn off this camera, so that she's happy when she returns and things are in the fashion that she expects and deserves. This is probably what most of the kitchens look like for guys when the wives are gone, and then before they get back we do all the work and get it taken care of. So that's going to be the case here. I better haul some more water in and get busy on the dishes. Yes, finally, after 2.5 weeks, all the dishes are washed. They are now in the dishwasher drying. That's what we use for our drying rack. And it didn't take too long. It wasn't too bad. Actually, I'm pretty good at keeping dishes clean. I don't like having dirty dishes. And so I wash them as I go. Rarely when my wife is gone will I have even one dirty dish after a meal. The Berkey is filled up with water. Nice to have that there. It's always nice to be able to walk in and have that great tasting Berkey water. So now I just need to wait and let those things dry, and then I'll put those away. We're getting close to the last day, and tonight it'll be over. Well, I just had a big surprise. It's been a couple hours since I was out here watering the gardens. I came out to get some water to flush the toilet, and both tanks are completely empty. I left the valve open here on the lower tank down here, and the water drained out. So, note to self, make sure when you're not using the water to close these valves. And I usually have these closed independently just in case there's a hole. For example, if there was a leak down here on the lower one and it got punctured, if I had both of these opened up, then it would drain both tanks. So as you can hear, those are completely empty. So I keep the valves closed, at least on the top one, just in case I do get a puncture. In this case, the top one was already empty, and I completely emptied the bottom one. That was quite a shock. And we don't have any rain in the next 10-day forecast, so it's going to be a while until these totes fill up again. Fortunately, I do have these 4 other totes on the other side of the house that I have not used at all yet. And so if I needed to, I could come over here and get the water to flush the toilets and to water the gardens. I thought this would be a pretty good way to end the day, showing you that we have 25.7 volts on our 24-volt battery systems. That is great. This battery bank is almost fully charged. I think 26 volts is fully charged. We had a full day of sun today, and that made all the difference in the world. These charge controllers were working like crazy charging up these batteries. It's been a pretty non-eventful day, other than the water running out, and I'm glad that we're coming to the end of this short experience. It's been an inconvenience, but a great learning experience for me. I'm glad I've done it. I know it hasn't been a true 100% off-grid, because I have used the sewer system. I did turn the grid back on to save the food in the refrigerator and the freezer. But I have learned so much, and I appreciate the comments you've made. They have helped me tremendously, so they are appreciated. This is LDS Prepper reminding you, if you are prepared, you shall not fear. And you'll realize when you don't have all the luxuries of the grid that you still can make it. A lot of it is really up to your attitude and your determination.